about how time you spent on social media affects the amount of academic stress that adolescents have. So throughout this process, I used my personal experience to find my research problem, and from then on I was super interested in my topic. So I had 3 social media questions, and the 3 that I used, or I tried to study, was what social media platforms had the highest perceived stress, and then how much time per day, and then how much time over a longer period of time. So over the longer period of time, I realized that the people who used once a day or more than once a day had a significantly higher stress level than the people who used it weekly or not at all. So that was really interesting. And then also for my second graph, or analyzing of my data, I found that people who spent more time on social media, per day, were also seen as having a higher stress level. And of course there are outliers that shifted my data a little, but I was able to see that positive correlation between both graphs. And then my third data, analyzing the graph, was the social media platforms, which I didn't think I was going to do originally because my focus was on amount, but it was interesting to see that kind of data anyway, because I was able to see that all of the social media platforms had really high stress levels except LinkedIn, which was really cool to see, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting, which makes sense because LinkedIn is more of a connecting of workplace and stuff, so that was cool. My conclusion, I was able to find out, okay, so what does this really mean? How is this study going to impact anyone in the future? So I realized, I'm really interested in this topic, so I might want to carry this study out into the real world, and have other people take the process and survey, find bigger data samples so I can share my findings with other people. And also a lot of students have to find that sweet spot between how much social media they use and how much academic stress they have. So finding how much time is just right for you guys is a good thing, especially for me.
My topic is the YouTube's reaction to pro and anti-vaping videos. So the reason why I chose this topic is that YouTube is really widespread use among teens. I think 85% of teens use it. So I did content analysis. So I looked at 48 comments, 6 on each video. I did four positive videos and 4 negative videos, and then I coded them on channel name, number of views, like to dislike ratio. I did if they mentioned vaping, and then if so, I did if they had a positive, negative, or neutral view towards vaping, and then if they mentioned vaping or if they mentioned evidence such as statistics in a study or a personal example or not. And then what I found was that one point was that anti-vaping videos had a much more critical reaction in terms of likes and dislikes. For every 4 likes, there's a dislike in average. But for pro-vaping videos, the reaction was much more positive. The like to dislike ratio was more 22. So this was showing that people gradually liked that video showing vaping in a positive sense better. The next thing I found was that evidence-based comments were much more prevalent in anti-based videos. 62% of comments used evidence, while it was only 25% in positive-based video, which I found really cool. And then finally, and most importantly, in both positive and negative vaping videos, 70 to 75% of YouTube comments were in support of vaping, while only 15% were against it. So I kind of find this kind of surprising because I thought it would be a much more even mix. But if there's such overwhelmingly positive support, I guess it means that teens could be possibly positively influenced on YouTube, causing them to vape because they're seeing comments saying it's good, you should try it.
Basically, knowing that over the past 18 years, attention span has gone down from 12 seconds to 8 seconds, I couldn't help but think that technology was involved. And so I went to the Pew database and I did some research, and I found that 43% of teens believe that they are online constantly, and the most likely or the most often used apps are YouTube, Instagram, and Snapchat. And so my experiment or research was, does attention span have an association with social media and app use? So what I did is I had people take a test about their attention span, and I used that to compare it to their most used apps on their phone. What I ended up finding is that kids who had entertainment apps or game apps on their phone, they were more likely to have a higher attention span, while those who used search engines or had social media apps on their phones, they had lower attention spans. So what I basically concluded overall from all of that is that entertainment and game app use should not be discouraged because it does not have a negative effect that I can tell on attention span.